I think one of the hardest things to hear after you don't get your way is keep working. But it's also one of the only solutions to be successful. You're not going to get your way most of the time in your life. Just keep working. Hard work pays off, no one tells you when.
Hi, my name is Curtis Hazard. I'm the series manager of the King of the Mountains RC Bouncer Series in Woodstock, New Hampshire, and the creator of Hazardous RC Off-Road Park. My experience with RCs comes back to way back when I was about 8 years old playing with toy grade RCs. I have a 16-year-old RC that I've had literally since I was 16. I just turned 33 not too long ago, so I have quite the collection. I found rock bouncing like most other people, watching Mad Ram videos and high octane film videos on YouTube, and one of the first videos that I ever saw was Screaming Blue and Bobby Tanner. How all this craziness started with the King of the Mountains RC Bouncer Series all started May 19th, 2019 at Mountain Mud Run in Warren, New Hampshire. Sam Dubé of RC Fabratory came all the way from Nova Scotia, Canada. We also had Nick Mott, who was running the national series for the RC class at the time. He ended up hitting me up a couple months ahead of time because he knew I was in the area. The one-to-one bouncers, or the big bouncers, however you want to refer to them as, they were coming up to Mountain Mud Run to put on a local show with Joe Pierce, Bobby Tanner, and a bunch of other guys were here. We ended up having the first ever race for the King of the Mountains series there. We ended up having a bunch of drivers come out, all meeting for the first time and having an absolute amazing time racing. We still have drivers showing up that showed up to the very first event. I like to call them the OG drivers. It's just kind of an inside joke, but they've been here since the very start and they still keep coming back. So some of the highlights for the series has definitely been the fact that it draws in people from absolutely all over the US, from different drivers, from meeting new people that have never experienced rock bouncing before, to other RC series that have come all the way here from Texas, Alabama. We've had Canada, all different kinds of RC series all come here just to come racing and come for the experience.
All right, this is Superior Spray Foam and Rentals, where Curtis works. They're in there getting loaded up right now, and then we're going to be heading off to the job site.
Foam. It's a lot more better than the open cell. What you get with the open cell is like the stuff that you buy at the store. It's like the canned foam. It pretty much absorbs water. Our foam is closed cell. It's waterproof and pretty much traps all the air out. All the chemicals, we have two chemicals here. One A component, B component. Each chemical is
heat it up to about 130 degrees. They stay totally separate until the very end of the gun. At the very end of the gun is where they actually mix. When the foam comes out the gun, it's 180 degrees, so it definitely gets pretty hot up in some of the attics.
I had the amazing opportunity brought in by one of my good friends, Mr. Nick Mott and Clyde Bydom, of going to the National Rock Racing Association and running the RC class, which was an absolute dream come true for me. We had some local events, but they were really small, and I always wanted to go to one of the big events. I think I went to 8 out of 10 races and flew out to all of them, which for me was an absolute amazing experience. I didn't really get to travel all that much in my childhood, so having the opportunity to go to every race and fly out to all these different places that I've never been to and all these parks that I've watched, actually being there on the hills was absolutely amazing. Some of the moments that absolutely blew my mind. Just got done doing the RC class, we just got done racing, and I'm heading over to the hills to go watch the main racing with the one-to-one bouncers. I don't know what his reaction is, but I guarantee my jaw dropped, because Sean from Reject Fab just came up and introduced himself to little old me playing with RCs, and that was definitely a moment that absolutely blew my mind. Another crazy moment, I'm up on the hills just kind of taking in all the racing, and I just happen to look over, and who do I see? I see Daniel Heckley, Kobe Wright, and Brandon Davis just chilling out next to me, watching the race with me. And that right there was one of those moments where it just kind of sank in to where I went from watching all those videos on YouTube to literally being up on the hills, sitting right next to the drivers, watching all the race action. That was absolutely like crazy. I've been running the series for 4 years, and this would have been my 5th year, and I decided to take this year off. People asking about next year, what's going on next year, is the series coming back, is points coming back? Yes, the series is coming back. We are going back to points races. There'll be, just like normal, we try to fit in at least 5 to 6 races. That's kind of all we're granted, being all the way up here in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. It'll be just like before. For anybody that's looking for information on finding events, they can go on to Facebook. The King of the Mountains RC Bouncer Races is my group, and you can click on events and all the info is in there. I also have a YouTube channel, Hill Ninjas Adventures, and I try to keep as much as info on there about the events as I can, but for all the details and event info, you are better off going to Facebook and checking out my group. There's an extremely long list of people to thank, but I'm going to try to make it short. We're going to start out with my wife. She deals with all my nonsense and all the crazy events that happens literally at my house. Obviously, Mr. Nick Mott for always having my back, always bouncing ideas off him and always giving me feedback. All the drivers that come out to all the races, all the OG drivers that have been coming since day one. Obviously, all the new drivers that are arriving literally at every event. We have new drivers. All the guys that drive 2-3 hours from Maine, every race, all the guys that come from Mass, literally all the guys that come from all over. Thank you guys so much. I wouldn't be doing this without you guys, and be pushing it forward without seeing you all come back, and all the overwhelming support has kept pushing me to keep pushing the hills and keep pushing the drivers and try to keep pushing the sport and the hobby. Till next time, have a good one, everybody. Hope to see you guys out on the hills and upcoming events.